All right, today is Q&A, question and answer. And group clearing today is the bad seed. It's going to be a good one, the bad seed. So we'll give some information about the bad seed, clear some stuff. So you won't be a bad seed anymore. Unless you are. Sorry. So we got storms happening here in Georgia. I guess Atlanta's getting hit pretty hard. So Q&A, question and answer. What kind of questions do people have? What do people want to know? Who's going to win the election? It's already determined, just so y'all know. Yeah. Hey there. So today's Q&A. So again, I'm not answering personal questions. If you got a personal question, either post her. If you got a request, you need help, put it on the prayer wall. If you have a question, burning question, do ask Bonnie. But I'm not doing questions here. All righty. Okay, so today is Q&A. So if you got questions happening, now's the time. Yeah. So I just wanted to, Cynthia, we talked about having my sister and me doing a alien thing because she used to, the spaceships, we're having black. What's happening? Something's not right. Huh. Okay. Right, okay. So you guys, lighting is kind of, I don't know what's up with the lighting. I'm just gonna light it up a little bit more, see if that helps. A little brighter. Not quite, that's better. Oh, no, that's not good. Sorry. All right, interference. Oh, yeah, I'm having a problem with the lighting because every time the lighting changes outside, it changes the lighting inside. So, not my best area. All right, so people, today's Q&A. Let me look. Let me check it out. So Cynthia is saying it looks like I got some. Yeah, I'll do that. Got some dark forces on my screen. We know the dark forces would like to take me down. I'm like a mortal enemy to those guys. All right. All right, so can I share how the clearings affect physical health and healing? Yes, Casey. Okay, so clearings basically are literally cleaning up your unconscious emotional wounding. As you know, your health issues are coming from your emotional wounding, okay? So that's a pretty simple one, but basically, people don't know what their wounding is, okay? You don't understand that you got issues around not being enough, or you don't feel loved, you don't feel like you belong, you don't feel like you matter. But it comes out in different ways. So what happens is by clearing out the energy, because it's not just clearing out an emotion, it's clearing all the causes of that emotion. So I go into the subconscious, unravel stuff, clear stuff, release past life stuff, agreements and contracts, taking energies out. What happens is, let's look at the, like your health and healing. For healing, for example, this is really cool. What happens is, how you have these thoughts, that run through your mind. You got these thoughts, okay? But those thoughts, there's always emotions and these concerns and worries, and you're projecting into the future, and having all this angst happening, depression, anxiety, all kinds of things happening. So what happens is by clearing those out, you can't find that thought anymore. It's gone, okay? Gone. So when the thought is gone, you can't find the thought, you can't find the emotional reaction, it's over, okay? What that does in your world is, remember, the energy in the subconscious is like a magnet, and also it has an energy frequency that's echoing out. Plus, you got your higher levels bringing things to you. So when you have an angst in here, that, let's just say you're not worthy, or no, let's use this one, you're not loved. Okay, no one will ever love you. Just as an example, you have that belief in here. We change that belief. You can no longer find that thought, and your whole life changes because now you're not living as though no one loves you. Okay, now, all of a sudden, oh wow, your heart's open and you got friends, you're feeling loved, you're feeling connected. That part is over. That's what it does on any particular issue. So health-wise, your health starts to get better. I mean, lots of different really intense health issues, but basically you start addressing the underlying causes, and then the body can start to heal, okay? Because you've got all these beliefs in there, you've got interferences, and then along with, like when I say interferences, that could be discarnates, it could be beliefs, it could be implants, devices, mechanisms. It can be like enemies. It can be other people's emotions. It can be your stuff. You could be sabotaging yourself, okay? So you anchor stuff in. So by clearing these things out, then you're able to, the body is more able to heal, okay? I've worked with cancer. I've done that lots of stuff like that. People can actually heal from that. So again, it's just really coming from the emotions. So clearings actually work, people. Here's the thing. I was on a journey. I started my quest in 1984, and I know what works and what doesn't. I discovered on my own that when I went through an emotion, that thought was gone. So how did I, so for me, it was like, how do I bring this to the world? How do I do this? What do I do with this? I know this. So my clearings got created and developed through my own healing practices, and it works. It absolutely works. All right. Yeah, Maureen. Yes, they do. Just in a nutshell, yes, they do. Okay. Yes, and their ships also come up out of the water, right? Yes, so there are definitely things happening, alien stuff happening in the planet, in the earth. Okay, hang on. Okay, this is like, can the clearings clear the negative beliefs of already departed ancestors if we call them in? Yes. Yes. Yeah, whoever you call in, they're going to get that. Okay, so, your ancestors, I guess I'm wondering, why are you concerned about your ancestors? They're dead and gone. Okay, I'd be more concerned about yourself, about what's happening inside of you. What's going on inside of you. What are your negative beliefs? But yeah, definitely can clear out. It doesn't matter, people. You have family, dead people. It doesn't matter. You call them in. They get the benefit of the clearing. Sometimes, actually, because they're no longer in a body, energy clear is actually much faster and easier. So what I like to do with people who have already passed is clear more stuff so that when they do incarnate, they won't have the same kinds of issues that they have to redo over again. Because remember, whenever you're not cleaning up, you're getting more and more of the same old in every incarnation. So realistically, whatever you've been living, I guarantee you've done it, hundreds of times, hundreds. Whatever issues you're living right now, you're still doing the same ones repeatedly. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. All righty. So again, you got questions. I woke up this morning with I have a leaking happen. I walked in the room, the water all over the floor, so I got a roof leak. My pool was almost overflowing. We got major storm and stuff happening here. So that's the world of physicality. If you're alive, shit happens. Okay, so What else? There's some dark interference, green screen. Okay, yeah, I'm not seeing any questions. Did I miss one? No. So, spirited woman, Elaine, you're doing your laundry. That's good. Okay. Oh, just a reminder, today is the bad seed. So in about 50 minutes, the bad seed will be happening. So if you think you're a bad seed, you might want to get in on that clearing. Okay, hang on. Here we go. Here's a question. Okay. If the soul drops the skin suit, what? If the soul drops the skin suit, how does all our past life issues get stored in our energy system and subconscious, and how does this differ from DNA in our blood? Okay, so clearly DNA in your blood is a physical thing. That's not going to go with you when you leave the physical form, but you're still awareness, okay? You're still, your consciousness is awareness itself. So in that awareness frequency, so when you drop the physical form, okay, think about this. You drop your physical form, but you drop it, but when you present to people, most people are still holding the image of that physical form, okay? For example, let's just say your mother dies and, 10 months later, all of a sudden you feel her and you can sense her energy and you see her, but she's presenting as she looked, okay? So we're still holding on, even though we don't have the physical body anymore, we're still holding on to what that body looked like, okay? We're still holding on to the frequency of that, okay? So it's the same when you think about the emotional frequencies, the emotions, okay? You can't grab hold of them. They're not tangible, and yet you can feel them. They're an energy frequency. So that frequency vibrates into your frequency, your consciousness, and it stays connected to you. It's yours. It's still your frequency. So, for example, going up into the light and connecting with other beings that are in the light. I'm talking in the light, not on the astral planes. You can't see them, but you can sense them because of the frequency. Okay, so they don't lose their frequency. That frequency is their frequency. It will always be their frequency. That's why when we meet up with people, we have a sense of, oh yeah, this is past life. I know you from a past life, okay? It's a frequency that we can sense and feel. So that frequency is always vibrating in our energy field until we release that frequency by knowing it. Okay, I've talked about this thousands of times. To know it means you have to surrender fully to know the feeling, to know the emotion. No mind thoughts, no story. Okay, if you're in your story, you're not unraveling, you're not in your subconscious. Okay, so that's what happens. It basically stays in your frequency, and then when you take on a body, you're bringing all that stuff with you. It's still there. Okay, and then it gets activated throughout life, different people, different situations. It's the same stuff that you've been dealing with for lifetimes. So, this is why, for me, the work really does shift and change your reality. So you don't have to do the same thing over and over. It's like, let's move on. Let's get into that new paradigm. All right. Okay, so we got allergies happening. All right. Okay, is there a way to identify allergies and then find the cause of the allergy with this work? I want to know about allergies from a non-medical standpoint. Yeah, I mean, it's like with everything. So, the bodies do have, like, you come in and you do have things that are going to happen. Like, for example, in your DNA, okay, your ancestors, you've got bloodlines, you've got different things that gets passed through your genes and through the DNA, okay? So those kinds of things, like genetic stuff, okay, like even people prone to different diseases or health issues that have to do with, like some people have certain heart diseases or whatever that run in the family, okay? So we can clear those kinds of things. So with the allergies, it depends on the allergies, okay? So but what would happen is, let's just say you want to find out about your allergies, you want to see if you can, in them, drop it, keep make it come to an end. So basically, it'd be about tracking to get a sense of, what's the cause? What's the root cause? Is it a genetic thing, or is it actually something that's happening because of some kind of emotional angst? Emotional angst allergies can be cleared, okay? Stuff that comes through the body, it's in your blood, it's in your DNA. Those are more challenging to change completely, and they can be improved, okay? So it's just and I don't know if we have any allergy. I can't remember. Cynthia, do we have any allergy video, clearings? I can't remember. We've got several hundred videos, people. Oh, this is a good question, actually. Okay, so we look similar. Like, I remember this was a trip. So we were in Egypt, had a group in Egypt, and we were at the temple of Isis, and people were remembering their past life. They were remembering, we were all together. We were remembering each other, like, clearly. But as I'm looking at these people, they looked very much the same. So, and I've done that before in just tracking other people, other things, and just looking back. And there's always there's a similar look that you have. So Cynthia, yeah, you get to keep your appearance, okay? You get to keep your look. I mean, you might get, thinner, bigger, fatter, whatever, but you're still gonna, that look is still gonna be yours. It's kind of cool, actually. Yeah, and that, here's another thing too, people. Like, for example, if you're in an environment that, like what Steve is saying, it's like, yeah, you're in a toxic environment. So if you're in those kinds of places, you do all the clearing you want, but that energy is still going to be getting into you and into your system. It's toxic, not good. So thank you for that one, Steve. Okay, hang on, Martha. Alcohol. Okay. Again, I'm asking, why are you concerned about your ancestors? You know what I'm saying? Why are you concerned about dead people? Okay. So if you're needing a clearing on alcohol, is it for you? Is it for somebody you know? These are addictions. Yes, we clean up addictions. Addictions this is all emotional stuff, people. It's coming from an emotion, some kind of angst, something's happening. People turn to different things, and people that, like, for example, alcoholism, people that grew up with families, mothers, fathers, whatever, alcohol, chances are they'll become an alcoholic. It's more of a, you grew up in that environment, and that's how you learn how to cope. So, again, though, it's still addictions. And the things we clear with ancestors are things that, like trauma, like, for example, so let's just say in your ancestors, somewhere in your ancestral lineage, maybe your grandmother was raped or great grandmother was raped. That trauma is in her. That trauma will get passed on to the kids. Okay, it'll go on down the bloodline. Okay, so those are the kinds of things we definitely clear. But it isn't so much. Again, it's not so much about clearing the ancestors. Although in a situation like that, I probably would clear the grandmother, because it's like that energy, it goes into the body, it goes into the emotional traumas that affect the DNA, that affect your bloodline. So that would be one of the situations where we would do some cleanup or something like that. Now, if you got, like someone who's an alcoholic, again, that's mostly emotional, discarnates, entities, can be implants, devices. That's mostly an emotional thing. Okay, drowning your sorrows. Yeah, I think we do. Okay, hang on. Okay, alcohol clearing. Yeah, we do have an alcohol one. I think we have more than one, but it's called Drowning Your Sorrows. Drowning Your Sorrows. Okay, it's all personal. Yeah, I think we do. Yeah, you guys, I don't remember. I just do them. Okay, so you'd have to. I think we're categorized as well, just so you know. Okay, All right, Byron. Okay, hang on, this is a good question. Do we do that by calling us? Yes, that, okay. If you're not, okay, some people actually get it when they're getting a session that might present, because maybe that happened, the energy, something that happened in the past is now affecting the person I'm working with. So I would work with that specifically. But if you're listening, let's just say you are listening to a video or clearing, and you want your ancestors or anyone, you can call them in. It's real simple. Just think of them, if you know their name, hold them in your awareness, and then just call them in. And yes, they will be getting the benefit of the clearing. It's pretty cool. So yes, it works that way. Okay. And then, yeah, we do. We have clearing. We have stuff for cigarettes. Cynthia, I can't remember. I don't think we did any hardcore drugs, did we? I don't remember. I mean, I personally worked with heroin addicts, that intense. Okay, here we go. This is a good question. Okay, do you think there is a connection between diabetes and grief in generational healing? Okay, so the diabetes thing, there's something in the body that, when you're not, most people that, not most, but some people that get diabetes, because of their diet, okay? And emotional stuff. So emotional issues can create all kind of diseases, illnesses, even diabetes, okay? Coming back to your question, in generational healing, is there a connection between diabetes and grief? And no, that's not really the connection. Diabetes isn't so much a grief thing. It's more, there's like it's like a self-sabotage. So, okay, people, just so you understand. So I look in your subconscious to get a sense of what you're doing or what's causing something, okay? So when I look at things like diabetes, there's a lot of the self stuff, like self-judging or self-sabotaging, self-sacrificing. Again, there's a lot of emotional stuff involved with that. And when we look at the generations, it's, again, people, diet is huge. Nowadays, people are eating so much toxic foods, you know what I mean? Like all these processed foods are poison. I learned about nutrition. I learned about health, food, eating real food back in the 70s. Okay, in the 70s. So we started doing everything. I started doing it from scratch. I used to buy, back then, I was buying this stuff called Hamburger Helper. I was very young. Okay, and then I discovered, whoa, okay, so all that crap was gone. So everything was from scratch. So even to this day, everything's scratch, pretty much. But, it's like, there's so many things that people are ingesting, and then all the toxin, but there's still emotional components. And when we look at the generational stuff, like especially in these last recent 50 years or so, look what's happened. Diabetes and obesity, all that kind of stuff was not rampant like it is now. Okay, if you just start looking at what people are eating, that's a huge component of it. But basically, people, it's like you can heal just about anything if you find the root cause and unravel it. That's the good news. That's really good news. All right. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, people, in case you want to know, here's an addiction package. Okay, right there, the package. And then there's also another one, drowning your sorrows. Here's another one, drowning your sorrows. That's the alcohol one. Okay. Yeah, so we got those things. Can we call our presidential nominees in? Can we call our presidential nominees in? Do you mean like to win? Sorry. Okay, here's what's up. You're not going to like it. There's a divine plan unfolding, people. Okay, I'm telling you straight up. It's been happening since mankind's been on planet Earth. Okay, and it's creation experiencing its own self in all forms and all ways, in many, 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 way opportunities, through physical form, through physicality, through sentient beings. Okay, even through non-sentient things like rocks or whatever. They all have spirits in them. So just, so, it's like you can call them in all you want, but here's what's up. It's already been determined. The word's already been spoken. Okay. So what's going to be happening, see what's really important to understand is we're in the awakening into the new paradigm. We're releasing all the old energies, the old ways. We're releasing all the blackness, meaning all the greed and selfishness and hatred and, victimization, all those really dark energies, causing harm, atrocities, hatred, covered up heart. Okay, so in order for us to come into the new paradigm, the blackness that has been seeping into the earth and into humanity for all, for long time, long time, it has to come up and be purged and cleared and released. This is what it looks like. Okay, you're watching the wars happening, the fighting happening, the insensitivity that's happening, the heartlessness that's happening, the anxiety, fears. All these energies are coming up because it is part of that plan, and we are in that time period where we will have famine, pestilence, war, and natural disasters wiping out people by the thousands. That's all what we're in right now. We've stepped into it. We're in it, and it's going to keep on going. Okay, so the best thing you could possibly do for yourself and those you love is clean up your own darkness. Seriously, okay? So that when you come back again, you won't be holding that same kind of frequency, and you'll be able to come into the new paradigm. Okay, so that's really the truest, best thing you can possibly do, is face your own darkness. What's inside of you? What are you still holding on to? What's in there? Like the hatred and wanting revenge and greed and all of that. Everyone's got it in them. Don't be thinking because you're being kind and generous. When you look deep in the subconscious, there's still all of that. It's inside of everyone. It's who we are. We've got the energy frequency of the lightest of light, darkest of dark. What we want to be able to do is just hold that light, which is that frequency of unconditional love. And that's what we're moving toward. That's what the new paradigm is all about. That's what fifth dimension being is all about, is a higher vibrational frequency where we're not being idiots causing harm and destroying each other, the world and everything, because of our own greed and insecurities and misperceptions and hatreds and all that rotten stuff that humanity holds. Okay, so do your inner work and shift and change. You help change the vibrational frequency of the world. That's what we're all really here to do. Yeah, the depravity is being revealed. It sure is, isn't it, Steve? It's true. That's what's up, people. It has to be revealed. If it's never revealed, how can it be cleared or released or expunged or purged or it's just or transmuted? The energy cannot do that if it's always in hiding. You don't know what's there. So yeah, it's being revealed, truly. And today is the bad seed. Okay, the bad seed. The bad seed. Everybody's a bad seed, they just don't know it. Sorry, guys. Yeah. What? Okay, how do you think life, consciousness began in the first place? Ever hear that there is more than one prime creator? No. Okay, I actually saw creation. In this lifetime, I went back and I didn't use any substance. I was using the breath, and I went into an altered state with the intention of going back into the lifetime as an initiate in the pyramids. And one of the final initiations is to go into the sarcophagus for 72 hours. Okay, so when I was in the sarcophagus, I was shown creation. I saw this clear as I can still see the clarity of it all. I saw in that frequency of, there was nothing. Okay, nothing, no, just nothing. Okay, you can't even imagine nothing. But if you could pretend to imagine nothing, there's nothing. Okay, but that moment that awareness became aware of its own awareness was that in that movement that literally created the beginning of everything. Okay, so there is still only that. That is the one creator. Okay, there's not two, there's not more. And everything has come from that. Everything has sprung from that. Everything has birthed from that. And that is everything. Everything. Okay. Let's look at, everything has the frequency, the star of life, the frequency of the flower of life, everything. Okay, so everything, even the atoms have that. But that's creation itself. It's conscious. It's just pure awareness. It's consciousness. That's what it is. And from that, after look at years and trillions, or however many you can imagine, you can't even imagine, but it just keeps on going until things evolve and become created and come into form. So, and I saw that once that awareness became aware, that movement created a frequency, and that frequency began to create motion. That motion began to create other energy frequencies like atoms or whatever. And then over time, it just started getting big. Like I literally could see like dense energy, not just clear and visible energy like atom, but a density. And that just as it kept moving and going forward, things started to do the movement and creating, and then everything began to form. But it's taken massive amounts of time. But I was shown that. What I was also shown is your soul doesn't really have an attachment to what you live, what you suffer. I saw images of a battle happen and arm getting cut off, and the soul is just connected to the body. It has no emotional attachment to what you're experiencing physically. Okay, it's just that what the soul itself is here to learn and experience and grow and become creation itself. But it has to be in the body to do that, and you have to be able to surrender to your own emotions in order for that to happen. All right, everyone, I need to go because we get ready for the group clearing that's happening at the down of the hour. My time, 1:30. Remember, it is the bad seed. So here's the link if you want it. The bad seed. All right. Thanks for being here. And I'll see you next time. Next time we do have quantum consciousness on the second Friday of the month. All right. Till next time.